Welcome to the MS&Me Radio Network. The broadcast shows are for informational and entertainment purposes only. They are not designed to provide listeners with specific personal, medical, or counseling advice. Individuals with a medical issue should always consult their healthcare provider. MS&Me is not responsible for content of individual shows. The views expressed by show hosts or their guests are their own. Enjoy the show.
Hi, this is Kelly Alderton, and I want to welcome you to my next broadcast. And I am a wife, a mother, I'm a health coach, and I'm an author. My book, in fact, is called Waking Up from MS, My Journey to Health, Healing, and Living Symptom-Free. And that book took me over 5 years to put together, thousands of hours detailing my almost 30-year journey living with and beating MS. I wrote that book because I wanted it to be an inspirational tool that people can use on their own journey with MS to living healthier and happier and productively. You can check that out at Amazon. Now, today, I just want to say I'm so glad everybody is here, and I'm so excited to be a part of the MS&Me Radio Network platform because it is one of the most important things we can do as people living with any chronic condition to share information, to get together and, maybe something that I'm talking about or some of the other speakers talk about are things you've never heard before or no doctor's ever told you. And, it's really important to keep our minds and hearts open here because you never know when that nugget of information will be just the thing to help you on your way here or even help one of your family members maybe who are taking care of you or may not quite understand. So I am so excited about being here. And also you can access this information 24/7 around the globe. And so it's just really a tool that we can all use and be proud of. Now, today's subject, and this is something that has been on my mind for well over a decade. Now, it's about our mind and our belief and our MS. Now, when I was diagnosed back in 1988, I knew nothing about MS. My family knew nothing about MS. No one talked about it. I was 17 years old. And, we were given a bunch of brochures and said, okay, go home, read the brochures. Now, my doctor did tell me, he said, Kelly, do not read those brochures because what we find is that when people start to read about these symptoms and things that can happen, you will actually start to manifest them. And I said, okay. I was 17. I really didn't care to go over that information. I was just young, thinking I'd be fine. Another profound statement that my pediatric neurologist said was, Kelly, don't worry. There's going to be a cure in 5 years. So no matter what, I always thought that there would be a cure in 5 years. Now, when that didn't happen, when 5 years passed me by, and obviously this is going on my almost 30th year since my diagnosis, I always kept that in the back of my mind. And isn't that interesting? When I talk to my other friends with MS, they were never given that statement. They were never given that information. What they're given is horrible scare tactics or things. One of my close friends was told, if you don't get on a DMD right now, you'll be back here in a wheelchair. I've had other friends that they said, there's no cure. You don't have to worry about diet or exercise or supplements. Anything that they wanted to focus on with a healthy living side, to try to heal their bodies, they were told not to do that. There's no proof, there's no evidence. And of course, we know that's not true. We have tons of information to show how diet and exercise and supplements and alternative therapies can actually benefit us with MS. So I often wonder, what kind of statements like that, what does that do to somebody with MS, someone who's just given this diagnosis? What does that do to them? In fact, one of the times I went to an MS support group meeting, they had this world-renowned neurologist, and I was already living symptom-free, but my husband and I decided, you know what, let's go, let's see what's going on there. And sure enough, this doctor was only there to collect more patients, to get more people on disease-modifying drugs. In fact, there was a young boy there who said he was just diagnosed, and can you help me? The kid raised his hand, can you help me? And the doctor said, yes, you have to get on a DMD right away. And people were starting to scoff a little bit that that was his first response to this gentleman. And everyone in the room that started talking about ways to heal naturally, he put them down and dismissed it. And no matter what anybody said that was helping them, even people on some of the disease modifying therapies were saying, well, you know, I am on a DMD, but I'm doing this with my healthy diet, or I'm exercising and finding this helps me sleep, or this lessens my spasticity. He shot everything down. So everyone in the room was just so, it was like you know, the rug was pulled out from under them. They were really distraught, loss of hope. And the neurologist saw that and he said, listen, people, listen, trying to get everybody's attention. I'm just trying to give you a few more years to live. Boy, what did that have? What kind of effect did that have on that room? And this room was standing room only with MS sufferers. Some are really suffering. What does that kind of statement do to us? We go home thinking we're going to die from this. We're going to end up in a wheelchair. There's no cure. We have to think about this, people, because what we think about is what we bring about. You know, when we start to talk about neuroplasticity in the brain, and our brain has so much power over our health. What we think about has so much power on our sickness or on our health and well-being, and you have to know that. And I've often said, because I've talked to thousands of people with MS, and I always know the ones that are still, you know, they might be doing healthy diets, supplements, exercise, but there's this one side they just can't beat. But when we start to look at their beliefs, their own ideas about their journey or their life with MS, that we start to see the issues. When you see people starting to say, "Oh, I can't be cured or healed from MS." Why is that? Because that's what my doctor told me. Oh, I can't rebuild the myelin in our brain because my neurologist never told me. Guys, this is your life. This is your body. You have to take 100% responsibility for it. You cannot give away your free will to a doctor who, one, makes money off of us being on a DMD and makes money on us being sick. Literally, if you start to think about it, everything is revolving around drug therapy, right? Not about healing, not about helping our immune system, not about, you know, becoming healthier and beating MS. Now, we do need, obviously, we have healthcare that's there for traumas and surgeons and things like that that are the best in the world, right? But as a nation, when we start to look at the healthcare in society, we have the most drugs, we have the most illness, right? So something is not right. Something is not adding up, and we have to start think about it. When you're watching TV, what do we see now on TV more than anything around? Cancer commercial, drug commercials for every, you know, every pain, headache, toe ache, you know, fibromyalgia, cancer, MS, you know, you name it, we've got a drug commercial for it. So what does that do to us as a society? One, it keeps us fearful about illness and fearful about getting sick and staying sick or even dying. We know for many people, and you've probably already heard this, the diagnosis is worse than the disease. And that's true. And we've seen it over and over again. Somebody gets a cancer diagnosis and the doctor says, you're going to be dead in 3 months. Guess what happens? In 3 months, they're dead. On the nail, you know, by that day, they'll be dead, whatever the doctor tells them. And that's when we start thinking about how our thoughts, beliefs, and our emotions affect us. And they do. And we can also start to talk about the placebo effect. And the placebo effect, that's Latin for I shall please. And isn't that interesting? Because that's all they want is is to please patients, right? Or please people. So we have to look at that. The placebo effect is real. It's not just in your head. Your body will actually have physiological responses to our thinking. That's how powerful that mind, body, and spirit connection is. So the placebo effect is done a lot in drug trials, right? So they have this particular, say, cancer drug, and then they have the placebo. So the test group, maybe that's getting the placebo, will be told, oh, this is what it's going to do. This are the side effects you're going to have. This is the pain you're going to feel. And even the people in that placebo group, the group who got, say, a sugar pill or a saline, whatever it is, starts to mimic. They start to show every single one of the symptoms the doctor just told them about that they could expect. So what does that tell us? That tell us that we have to start thinking differently about our health. We have to start thinking that our body has an innate ability to heal, because we know it does. There are so many studies. For anybody out there, just start doing studies on neuroplasticity and healing, the mind-body-spirit connection to healing. Start looking up the placebo effect to healing, the nocebo effect to healing or not healing. It's all out there for us, and we have to take control of that. We have to start understanding how powerful our mind is. And if you're not thinking right about any condition you have, it's going to negatively affect your body. Now, let's talk about the nocebo effect. So, those are the negative effects in some, we'll say, some trials, that they've had for, say, drug, trials. Just like I said, the nocebo effect would be all those negative reactions they were just told about by the doctor. They start to have all of them, right? And again, that just shows the power of the mind. Now, in war times, they actually had, and I was just reading about this, some nurses who were taking care of the soldiers who were injured, and they ran out of morphine. So one nurse started using saline and giving them shots of the saline, saying it was, morphine, and that they would start feeling better. And you know what? People started feeling better. That's how powerful our mind is. Just like my MS doctor told me when I was 17, you will start manifesting these symptoms and things that you start reading about or hearing about, so don't get stuck on that. That is how powerful our bodies are. That's how powerful our mind is, and you have to start thinking about that. Every organ in our body was made to heal. If we give it the right environment, we give it the right tools to do so. And we just know that. We have to have clean water, clean air, healthy food, supplements, herbs. We have to work on really healing our body in a natural way, and it can be done. Synthetically, we can't heal our body. There is no medicine that is going to heal our body. You cannot medicate yourself to good health. You just can't do it. And so that's why we have to start thinking about things in the right way. Now, what ways can we focus on healing our bodies and our minds every single day? We have tons. Acupuncture, acupressure, massage, biofeedback, chiropractic care, Atlas orthogonal, craniosacral therapy, myofascial release, Reiki, meditation, the emotional freedom technique, tapping, hypnotherapy, sound therapy, cognitive behavioral therapy. We also have the Qigong. We have neurofeedback. Guys, there are lots of ways for us to heal. And I always say we have to take a whole body approach to healing. It's not just diet and exercise and supplements. That mind is the final piece of the puzzle. What you think about your condition and your health will affect you. And sometimes I think even more dramatically than the foods we're eating, than the exercising we're doing. Because if you think you're going to be sick and die, if you think you're going to end up in a wheelchair, if you think you cannot heal your body from MS, what do you think your body will do? How do you think your body will respond to that? Whatever you tell your body, it believes you. Good, bad, or indifferent. If you tell your body it's sick, it's going to be sick. If you tell your body you're healing, healthy, strong, it will respond accordingly. Every cell in your body will respond, okay? It definitely will. Another thing to think about too, with the environment we live in now, everybody seems like they're on overdrive, right? Our bodies are all overtaxed. We're stressed about everything. Just turn on the TV. You never see a happy story. We're worried about getting sick, and that's always in your mind. And when we're in that stress mode or the fight or flight mode, Your body cannot stay in that fight or flight mode for any amount of time. So if that's how you're feeling now, you're feeling stressed, you're feeling overburdened, look at ways that I've talked about to start healing. Okay? Your body being in that fight or flight mode puts your body into an acidic environment, causes inflammation, and it affects your entire body. So you have to really start to focus on healing, how to de-stress, how to control your thoughts, how to think more positively, and really start to understand what's going on in your body. Life is as terrible or as beautiful as we make it. Isn't that a profound statement? You know, I just always have focused on healing. I knew I would beat MS. I knew I could heal. Our bodies are so amazing. If we give it the right tools, we will beat MS. And you have to really start to think about how you can do that. You know, we don't want to be thinking negatively because your body will stay right there. And I ask all of you now with MS, do you believe you can heal? Do you believe you can be healthy and strong? Do you believe you can get out of that wheelchair? Do you believe that your body is such a complex machine that it can be retrained and rewired and fixed to help support you? And I want to say, I really do believe that all of us have that ability to heal. We just know that every day, whatever we think about, we bring about. If you're thinking negatively constantly, you're going to be living in sickness. You just will. You know, if you're positive and proactive and happy, no matter where you're at, we have things we can be grateful for. If that's the way you're living, you're closer to health and healing. And you really need to start looking at that and focusing on that, because your body is so strong, it will do whatever you want it to do. And I just want to say that what you can start doing now is start thinking the right way. Start looking at people who are beating MS. That's a great thing to do. Don't stay in groups or with people who are constantly negative, 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 complaining about their MS, complaining about this symptom, complaining about that symptom. And I don't say that we walk away from those people without showing compassion. Well, of course we do, but we cannot stay in that position. We cannot stay thinking so negatively every single day about MS. Look to the people who are positive and proactive and people who are living the life you would like to live with your own condition. And there are plenty of them out there. I'm a part of many different Facebook groups, and in fact, a couple of ones that are just so positive and uplifting. I'm a part of the Facebook group MS Recovery Naturally group, and it is positive, and it gives us all different ways to live our life and heal our bodies and focus on positivity and support each other. And just like my book, I wanted that to be something someone could grab and go through and use it as a tool to get their mind in the right spot. I've been studying personal growth and development for many, many years. I've studied under Tony Robbins, Jack Canfield. I'm a certified trainer for Jack Canfield. And I've studied with Danny Johnson and all these top leaders, but they're top thinking leaders. The way they tell us to think about everything in our life. It's not just, you know, personal development for success in business. It's personal development, controlling our thoughts, the way we think, how we live for our healthy lives. You cannot just focus on, say, your success in business and then negate everything with your health and the way you think. You know, it is all piled together. Mind, body, spirit is all connected, and we have to do everything possible to heal, everything possible to lift ourselves up and know that our body is so amazing. God made these amazing bodies that have the innate ability to heal if we give it the tools to do so, right? Healthy diet, exercise, supplements, all the therapies I talked about. Pick one of those therapies that I talked about and start doing it and start seeing what's going on in your body. Anything you can do to help your mind become stronger is going to be proactive, and it's going to help you long term. So what I'd like you all to do is really take some information that I gave you today. Know that your beliefs and your emotions and your thoughts will affect every second of your life. So if you believe you can be healed from MS, if you believe that you can be healthy again and are willing to do the things to take you to that, right? This is one thing that I always talk about, and you've heard me talk about it in other broadcasts. We weren't born with MS. It's just something off in our body. Something is out of balance, and we have to take a step back, reevaluate what's going on. When I talk to people about MS and their journeys, a lot of them will say they've had a lot of stress or a traumatic event, right? So what we have to do is kind of go back, step back. How can we address those things and move forward in a positive way? Right? You have to focus on healing. You have to know that you know that you know that your body was made to heal. It's just something off right now. You've got to turn that around. Focus on different therapies to heal. Focus on different therapies to heal your mind and really put you in a place that you can optimize your health. You guys can definitely reach out to me. I'm on Facebook. If you go to Waking Up from MS, I would love to connect with you, hear about your own journey with MS, what's working, what's not. And really, this is what we have to do as a community, because back in 2001, I never knew there was other ways to deal with MS until a holistic doctor said, Kelly, you can beat MS. You can have a great quality of life. At that point in 2001, I was literally taking 2 to 3 naps a day, aches and pains galore. And I know you guys out there can understand about the chronic fatigue and the aches and pains. And you don't have any quality of life. But you know what? I said, I'm going to listen to this guy. He told me it was a vitamin deficiency. So that's how I first started dealing with my MS. First as a vitamin deficiency, then to healthier eating, then to alternative therapies, and then I really made a long-term practice of focusing on my beliefs and my mental health and my mind and how the mind, body, spirit are connected. And we have to focus on all of those areas if we want to beat this. And you can. Our bodies are so amazing. They were made to heal if we give it the tools to do so. So I want to thank everybody for plugging into this broadcast. Next week, we're going to have some awesome subjects, and I just want to let you know you can do this. Focus on your mind, on healing, and I look forward to speaking with you again. God bless.